Greetings travelers, and welcome back to the Hollow. Doom is the definition for an adrenaline FPS. When I think about Doom, I envision a man jumping off walls, shotgunning demons. But that's not how the game is actually played. The most optimal way to play is to use Doom Guy's vast arsenal of weapons to take care of all different types of demons. But what if you got rid of that arsenal, and was only left with the 2 shotguns the game gives you? Could you beat Doom with only shotguns? The game throws us right into the first level, and luckily we already have our gun. The first few areas are simple since we're kind of playing the game how it's supposed to be played, and the challenge is mainly due to the loss of movement, like dash and some of the runes. Going forth, we encounter the Arachnotron. This is a mechanized spider with a turret on the top of its head. Now, these guys are pretty easy to take out because you can kind of use the sticky bomb to shoot the turret. However, is that really allowed? As we move forward and find things like the frag grenade and heavy cannon, we're gonna have to establish some rules. The chainsaw is allowed. I only try to do it when I'm low on ammo and mainly against fodder enemies, but it's pretty necessary at points. Mods are also allowed as they use shotgun ammo and are attached to the shotguns. Glory kills are allowed because health is very important. Extra lives are also allowed, but they will be added to the death counter at the end of every level. Ice bombs are allowed and the flame belch as well. Those are the only 2 pieces of equipment, however, as the frag grenade is not allowed. Blood punch we can use, but I try to avoid it and misclicks happen, and there is one big reason that we really need it. Accidental quick stops are okay, I try my best to avoid it, but it happens sometimes. This is a fast-paced game after all, and I'm not going to reset after every single time I hit someone with 1 shot from the heavy chain gun. Also, we're playing on Nightmare difficulty. Going through to the final part of this level, we find the Kako Demon. Now, the general strategy for these guys is the same as any normal playthrough. Shove bombs down their throats. Once that's done, we can glory kill them. The only problem with them is that if they get close, or you accidentally forget where they are, it is almost always an insta-kill. Finally, we deliver the Hell Priest's head. Going back to our space station, we head off to Exalta. In Exalta, we face the first Hell Knight. Now, these guys are a pain. They're fast and hit hard, but if we stay in the air, then we can easily take them down. Going forth, we encounter our first place to get runes. We choose the speed boost after glory kills, as being able to close the distance quickly will be vital as the game progresses in difficulty. Next is the water room, and we barely make it out alive before heading off to get our dash. Now, the game can truly begin. The first room after we get dash and we're already cooking. This challenge is currently shaping up to be a walk in the park. But all that momentum has come to a screeching halt, since the first secret encounter is 2 floating Kako demons. And finally, after way too many attempts...
Fuck, man. That's fucking bullshit.
Heading through the massive portal, we encounter our first Revenant. These are the guys with the giant jetpacks. Now, shooting them with the sticky bombs is the easiest way to take care of them, as it will get rid of their missile locking systems. We finally encounter the toughest challenge this game has to offer: the Slayer Gates. For those who haven't played Doom Eternal, Slayer Gates are basically little arenas where tons of enemies spawn, including those that haven't been formally introduced. I'll introduce them when we get there, so for now, sit tight and watch as I rip and tear.
Alright, run in there. Grab that. There's ammo there. I'm gonna. Okay. Still can like potentially get one shot and shit, but I don't know. Okay. Oh my fucking god. I'm so good at this goddamn game.
Finally completing our first Slayer Gate, we head onward to complete the level. After some mod upgrades, we head to the Cultist base. Now, this level is super important for one reason, and I'm sure you'll figure it out soon. Right at the entrance to the base, we find the Mancubus. These hulking beasts equipped with their flamethrowers may seem simple to take out, but they have a ton of get off me tools, so being quick getting in and out is vital to take them down. Going through, we can get the air control rune, so now after glory kills, we're almost impossible to hit as we soar through the air at supersonic speeds. Finally going down and getting the rocket launcher, we stumble upon the whiplashes along with plasma shield guys. Right now they're an absolute pain to take down as it's hard to shoot around the shields and the whiplashes are impossible to hit. Although, by the end of the mission, we will have a reliable way to deal with them. The next arena is one of the more tedious ones. They throw every single heavy enemy at you in a massive space. But, after a few attempts, we proceed and make our way into the cultist base. After that, the floor falls out from under me, and the walls turn to fire, but we can finally get what we were after. The super shotgun. This thing is a beast. It uses twice the ammo, but can one-shot most fodder demons and some heavy ones like whiplashes. With our second shotgun, we can now find our second Slayer Gate. After that detour, we get to the more exciting part of this level, the final arena. the Doom Hunter base. After arriving on our scheduled train, we're greeted by an arena with a new demon. Now, the pinkies are easy as the shotgun is normally how you take them out, but if you're not careful, they can easily make you reset the room. The base is very simple with just a few things to pick up, like the lowering equipment charge room, and this is mostly for the ice bomb and flame belch as I can stay topped off on my health and armor. But the finale of the base, we fight our first boss. The best way to take care of these guys was to sticky bomb their sled, and once they reach phase 2, meat hook plus a shotgun to the head will take them out easily. Oh, and that was first try.
Oh, we did it first try, baby. I'm so good.
Maybe this isn't much of a challenge at all. Next on the chopping block is the Super Gore Nest. Now, the first area is simple, but I failed to account for one thing: ammo preservation. Once that pinky burst through the door and I realized I was out, and there was no nearby ammo, so I ran to the beginning to try and see if I forgot an ammo stash or if I could chainsaw a fodder demon. But by the time I made it back to the door, he was just gone. So, I don't know. But we take those. We take those. During this level, we are finally introduced to the Dread Knights. Continuing onward, we find one of the biggest arenas in the game. In the past, I would struggle with that since the open areas are not able to close the distance very well. But now with the meat hook, we're swinging around like Spider-Man, except we're shotgunning demons. The rest of this mission was kind of forgettable until we reached the third Slayer Gate. Now, this was a difficult one.
Oh my fucking god.
After that hell, we can proceed to blow up the nest so it's no longer a problem for us. It's time for the Ark Complex, one of the longest missions in the game, although after the last almost 4 hours of playing, I've kinda gotten into a rhythm, making sure to use all the tricks I have in my bag, along with not stopping moving once. About halfway through the level, we have our 4th Slayer Gate encounter, and this one was tedious. There are tons of late game enemies in this one that will definitely be introduced later, along with a Doom Hunter right at the end. While we got through the Slayer Gate fairly easy,
Oh my god. And it only gets harder.
we're starting to run into ammo problems. Luckily though, one of the rooms in this level was very difficult. But every time we reset, we get to kill a Pinky with the full auto, soon earning the master on it, which means that we can go positive on ammo for kills with the auto shotgun. Heading through the rest of this mission, we unfortunately run into another problem. After defeating these 2 Hell Knights, a Dread Knight appears. But no matter how many times I reset, I never had enough ammo to kill all 3. So, unfortunately, we must saw the Dread Knight in half to proceed. But finally, we can head up the tower, grab Gilgrunt, and we end up facing another foe.
Oh.
Evacuation is advised.
That's it. Let's fucking go. Oh my god.
With Reinhardt in our ear, we can go ahead onwards to Mars. This level is the one where you acquire the BFG. So, they like to throw a ton of enemies at you, meaning that this level is really difficult. Finally, we arrive at the 5th Slayer Gate, Somehow we did it on the first try as well. With that completed, we head down to Mars' surface and jumps through a portal to Sentinel Prime. On Sentinel Prime, we run a little and find ourselves face to face with another boss. J. Jonah Jameson then instructs us to head to Terrace Nabad. This mission was more difficult as well. I found tons of arenas were very stressful. As an example, the second arena, we must reset as I ran out of ammo when there was only one enemy left. Ammo seems to be the main problem now. Even with the chainsaw, the amount of heavy enemies is sometimes too much. I have to now make sure I'm close enough that I can min-max the damage from every shot I take, while staying so far away enough that I make sure not to die. Eventually, we arrive at the final Slayer Gate.
Get up to rock, get up to burn, tell me the fight ever feel desire. One day I noticed that my life was broken. It was not me who was controlling this body. Oh, I want you know what's really real to me. Before we vanish like a wave. Get up to rock, get up to burn. Tell me the fight on me, the way to make her. You must have heard it. Grab the truth, hold it high. Right fist, that's what this made to stop with. You haven't heard it go. Don't be afraid to listen to your own heart. Big blast sonic, that's my heartbeat in you. One day I noticed that the world was broken. Twilight helped me and our senses down, down. Oh, I would see this whole world fully blue. Nothing space must be black. Hey, get up and rock, get up and burn. Tell me the fight on me, the way to make her. You must have heard it. Grasp the truth, hold it high, raise the bar, that's how you start. You say you must have heard it now. Don't be afraid to listen to your own heart. This last sonic got my heartbeat in you.
The next room was the real challenge. The Baron of Hell was chasing me down so hard that I didn't even know what to do, and the Archville can also cause problems with their area denial fire attacks. But finally, we proceed. Somewhere in the middle of the level, we have the craziest strafe ever against a Marauder, and then, in the tower arena, I drop down to grab a crystal to replenish my ammo, but when I get back up, everybody left, so we take those again! Arriving at the end of this mission was the place I dreaded the most, the Crucible Sword Arena. This is supposed to be a fun slash every demon in the arena, but for me, it was hell in a bottle. I got so crazy. At one point, I changed the HUD colors, hoping that it would make me play better. We take out Vega, so we can now only listen to Owl, and he directs us to the Nekravol. Inside the Nekravol Part 1, we get formally introduced to the Tyrant. But I've been dealing with these guys and gates since the Ark Complex, so he goes down easy. This level was decently short, and by the time I got to the final level, it was just 2 Doomslayers. And they were a piece of cake since I've done this song and dance before. The Nekravol Part 2 was even easier. I killed a Marauder on the first try, and the final massive arena was so simple I did it deathless. It's time to ascend, all the way to Urdak. We interrupt the Con Maykr and she's very unhappy with us as the Icon of Sin runs away back to Earth. The Hulk then tells us we need to realign the rings to head home and stop it. The first arenas I was able to play way more aggressive with the extra lives to fall back on, but once I ran out, well, it was a bit of a different story. Finally, we align the rings. Before we can jump through, however, someone decides to stop us. This boss was jank already, sometimes with how she works, but add on sometimes just not skipping the phase, and with how much of bullshit she does when you're up close and all that. So I tried to stay far away with sticky bombs, but that didn't work. And it turns out, well, the real strat, believe it or not, was the up close. And shotgun the shit out of her. After only like 11 hours, we made it to the final sin. I can taste victory. The first arena was light work, same kind of strats as before. Also, making sure to use the auto shotgun to try and have more ammos as we fight the little guys and make sure that we have ammo as we start arenas. The trick as we move up in difficulty is to always stay moving, not just forward and back, but left and right as well. Arena 2 was simple with the Marauder, same things as before with the quick swapping. Arena 3, however, is where the difficulty jumps to the extreme. This is the final level, and the final arena. So the game throws all it's got at you. The hardest part isn't even staying alive, but not running out of resources when there's only one Mancubus left. Part 2 of Arena 3 was a tad easier. Thankfully, there was a checkpoint. If there wasn't, I may have gone insane. Anyway, this challenge's difficulty curve hasn't even reached the top yet, and that's reserved for the final challenge. Icon of Sin is a difficult boss, but luckily the devs were kind enough to give replenishing resources around. The strategy for Icon is similar to that of the normal strat, where you kind of want to hit the small points first, like his hands and forearms, as the chest and abs are easy to clean up after. The only problem is that compared to the chain gun, the sticky bombs do so little damage. It becomes more like an endurance fight than anything else.
Oh my god, let's fucking go.
Take the portal and finish this.
Oh my god, let's fucking go. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. I did it. That's Doom with only shotguns, baby.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like down below. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, subscribe down below. It's free and we're so close to 500 subscribers. I would really appreciate it. If you guys have any suggestions on how I could maybe improve the video, or maybe some challenge runs you'd like to see in the future, comment them down below. I try to respond to every single one I can. I usually do. Anyway, thank you guys again so much for watching. Goodbye, travelers. I hope we meet again.